And welcome back to Red and Blue. While Republicans are gearing up for what could be a crowded primary field in 2024, Democrats are waiting to see whether Biden announces whether he's running again. For more on 2024, Guy Cecil joins us now. He's the outgoing chairman and chief strategist for Priorities USA, one of the Democrats' most powerful super PACs, and helped raise more than $650 million for the party. Good to see you here in person.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So let's talk about 2024. Are Democrats expecting to run against Trump again? What does the field look like to you?
Well, I think the field is obviously evolving, and we're either going to run against Trump or a carbon copy of Trump, because I think overall the Republican Party has moved farther and farther and farther to the right. And we've seen even in the last 24 hours with some of their answers around Ukraine that the only way to win a Republican Party a nomination is to try to out-Trump the original Trump. And whether it's him or somebody else, I think Biden and Harris will be prepared.
So speaking of that ticket, Biden and Harris 2024, no question about it.
Well, the president has said he intends to run. The first lady has said she expects him to run. And so I'm going to take their word for it. And I think Democrats are prepared to support the Biden-Harris ticket and are lining up behind him already.
Do you sense any sort of opportunity for a primary challenge? Do you think there should be one?
I really don't. I don't think there's going to be a particularly credible candidate that decides to run. And I think we've already seen that most of the Democratic Party, the Democratic National Committee members, elected officials, grassroots activists are expecting and are, in fact, lining up behind Biden. So while there may be a candidate or two to get into the race, I seriously doubt that they'll be competitive.
And you talk to donors all the time. We have seen reporting that, there has been a lot of criticism of Vice President Kamala Harris. Are you hearing that from the donor community? Is there any sense of wanting the ticket to change at all? One
of the things that I remind our donors and any Democrat I come across is that anxiety is the love language of every Democrat. And every cycle, there's something that we pretend to be worried about or we try to focus on. The reality is that the vice president has done an outstanding job. She was an asset to the ticket. She's been an asset to this administration. The president has made it clear that he's an asset to his decision-making process. She's going to be on the ticket. And the folks that I talk to are supporting a Biden-Harris ticket, and they're supporting Kamala Harris being on the ticket. So you can always find one or two naysayers in the Democratic Party. We're a big, occasionally unwieldy group. But the large majority of our party is supporting Vice President Harris.
You used to also lead the DSCC, the Senate campaign arm. The map looks pretty difficult for Democrats next time around. Are you confident that Democrats can keep control of the Senate after 2024?
The one thing I think that's encouraging is we just got through a pretty difficult map, where at the beginning of the cycle, most people were predicting that Republicans had a great chance of winning the majority. And in fact, we not only held the majority, we actually gained a seat to 51. And so there's no question that we're going to have races in places like Montana and Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan, that'll be competitive races. But when you look at Jon Tester, when you look at somebody like Sherrod Brown, there are very few elected officials that fit their state the way that Jon Tester and Sherrod Brown do. And so I'm confident in those races, and I think we have an excellent shot of holding our majority.
Another one of those candidates would be Joe Manchin, who is running for re-election in West Virginia. Do you anticipate that he'll run as a Democrat, or do you think that he'll switch and align with run as an independent?
I think the most likely scenario is that he'll run as a Democrat. The senator has been a Democrat his entire life. He served as a Democratic governor in West Virginia, but that's obviously his decision to make. I think the most important thing is that our party be a big tent party, and that we understand that a senator from West Virginia is going to be a little bit different than a senator from California or from New York, and that the way we build a majority, a governing majority, is making sure that Democrats are there for Joe Manchin, even when I disagree with Joe Manchin on quite a few things. But I recognize that the Senate majority is really critical to our success and to passing a Biden agenda. And we should be supporting it.
So no other Democrat could really have a chance in West Virginia like Manchin does?
I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that Joe Manchin is the only competitive Democrat that can run in West Virginia.
What about Arizona? Because we've seen Kyrsten Sinema change her registration to an independent. Ruben Gallegos is running as the Democrat. Should Democrats back him? Should they stick with Sinema, who's still caucusing with the Democrats, and she's, the incumbent? How would you approach that?
Well, I think first things first, the senator has to announce officially that she's running. I know she's raising money, but In my experience as head of the DSEC, you're always running until you're not. And so I think the contours of that race are going to shape up. But I expect, in large part, that most Democratic donors, most Democratic elected officials will end up supporting the Democratic nominee. And I expect that to be Congressman Gallego, and I think he's going to ultimately win that election.
And just really quickly, Democrats' biggest challenge heading into 2024?
I think it's just staying focused. You know, like I said before, Democrats, we love to eat our own. We are an anxious bunch. But the reality is that we have some real opportunities. One, we have an opportunity to govern. And I think when we've seen the president's actions over the last couple of days in regards to the banks, the way that he has responded in Ohio to crisis, our president is tested and he's not distracted by the outside chatter. And I think as long as we stay focused on that and we continue to respond to what the Republicans are doing, you notice no Republicans are putting forward an agenda. They won't put forward a budget. They won't put forward a response to East Palestine. They don't put forward a real response to the economic crises that our country faces. They're focused on attacks and on who can be the most right-wing, who can be the hardest ideologue in their party. And I think that contrast between Democrats and Republicans is going to shape up pretty well going into next November. Already
heating up. Guy Cecil, good to see you.
Thank you.
Hope you'll join us again throughout all of this. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.